function in a world where the road to the future is paved with the ideas we share and the partnerships we forge. Each passing day, we find a reason to shrink the distance between us and our partners and allies. And this particular moment is a memorable chapter in the history of two nations with boundless possibilities to offer each other. It is my profound honor to welcome you to Abuja, the beating heart of our nation, and to this gathering that marks not just a meeting of friends, but the reawakening of our bond as partners in the international community. Your Excellency, we gather here to receive our kin from another part of the world, and so I extend a most heartfelt welcome once again to our sister in destiny, Her Excellency Francia Elena Marquez, Vice President of the Republic of Colombia, and the distinguished members of her delegation. I have no doubt that in the warmth of our people and the rhythm of our hospitality, you will find every moment here both memorable and enriching. I therefore wish to commend Your Excellency, Madam Vice President, for your efforts in identifying with the African continent and advancing economic interchange between our two nations. I'm optimistic that with the present arrangement, this visit will further enhance our bilateral relations and continue to provide mutual opportunities for the promotion of Nigeria-Colombia political consultation and business prospects for our peoples. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to explore new opportunities, deepen our partnerships, and address common challenges. We cannot achieve that unless we compare our differences and similarities, as well as our resources and potential. This is a practical way to propel trade and investment, improve agriculture, foster culture, and exchange ideas that will mutually benefit our countries. The private sectors of our two nations are therefore urged to take advantage of the abundant potential of our countries and transform them into tangible economic gains. There is no doubt that we are coming together at a time when the uncertainties of the global economy and the politics that undercut it are reshaping trade patterns. The tariffs that confront our exports in other parts of the world are a reminder of the danger of dependence on a narrow base. For Nigeria, this is a call to diversify our exports beyond crude oil, expanding into agriculture, minerals, and manufactured products. I believe that Colombia too is bound by the determination to expand its economy beyond the bounds of tariff barriers. Our two countries must seize this moment to engage in trade negotiations and agreements that reduce barriers and open new gateways to markets we have not fully explored. Tariffs, while daunting, can serve as an invitation for deeper innovation and cooperation. They can attract foreign investments as companies seek to establish local production hubs in Nigeria and Colombia to bypass restrictions and access larger markets. In this context, our businesses should look beyond mere survival. They should form partnerships with foreign companies, collaborating in production, distribution, and knowledge exchange. By doing so, they can not only navigate tariffs, but also create a stronger presence in global value chains. Your Excellencies, these global constraints are the reason Nigeria is embarking on purposeful actions to elevate agriculture from subsistence to mega business. We are transforming smallholders into global conglomerates. As a country, we are investing in innovative technologies for livestock breeding, developing machinery, producing chemical-based products such as fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides, and creating a strong supply chain. This is also an area where partnership with Colombia will be vital. We must prioritize sectors that are natural pillars of our economies. In agriculture, we share comparative strength in coffee, cocoa, and tropical fruits. In energy, Nigeria remains a leader in oil and gas, while Colombia has potentials in coal and renewable energy. In manufacturing, from textile to machinery, Both nations can collaborate to build capacity, exchange knowledge, and attract the kind of investments that secure jobs and prosperity for our peoples. No country, I repeat, no country, can achieve its maximum output and productive potential without fully harnessing the capabilities, endowments, and competencies of its women. Nigeria disapproves of all forms of discriminatory practices against women, girls, and children. Women's protection is one of the priority areas of our development plans and programs. In eliminating the barriers faced by women in political and socio-economic life, we are making tremendous efforts to sustain the rise of female entrepreneurship in micro and macroeconomic sectors, as well as encouraging and supporting women to contest political positions at all levels. So, Dr. Jumoke, Iman, and not with the ball is in your court. If we are to capitalize these opportunities, both Nigeria and Colombia must do three things. First, monitor global trade policies to adapt swiftly. Second, diversify exports to reduce dependence on single products. And third, create a business environment attractive enough for foreign investors. By pursuing these, our nation can turn shifting tides into shared prosperity. Our practical roadmap to the future is to acknowledge that culture is a bridge for innovation, economic development, and mutual prosperity. Nigeria's creative sector remains an engine for unleashing the potential of our teeming youth population. Reinforcing our connections in culture, education, science, and technology is fundamental for building a resilient and globally competitive creative economy. Shakira is Colombia's greatest export to the world. And her famous song, Hips Don't Lie, from Beze Park. Greatness doesn't lie. Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa and projected to be the third most populous nation on earth by 2050 and will be the most populous nation in the world by the end of the century. Colombia has the second largest population of people of African descent in South America. Colombia is a great nation that has produced some of the greatest footballers in the world. Colombia, it must be mentioned, Gabriel Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude, is a masterpiece. So also is Love in the Time of Cholera. Reinforcing our connections in culture, education, science, and technology is fundamental to building a resilient and globally competitive creative economy. It is therefore time to collaborate in capacity building, skills development, cultural exchange, digital innovation, and intellectual property protection. We must extend our acquaintance to each other's literature, languages, music, themes, arts, and festival. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no gainsaying that the tourism sector has become one of the main vehicles of economic growth and development. Tourism is no longer a choice, but a necessity for diversifying national economies, creating jobs, generating income, and bridging cultural gaps amongst nations. It is better late than never. The largest population of Africans in the world outside of Nigeria is in Brazil. But it's only last week that we reconnected with Brazil after over 40 years of disconnection. I believe that today we rekindle our relationship with the great nation of Colombia. I assure you that Nigeria is blessed with enormous tourism potentials, with a teeming population of more than 250 ethnic groups with their distinctive arts, crafts, cultures, and languages. Our natural resources, including hills, plains, valleys, rivers, waterfalls, flora, and fauna across our 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory are yet to be fully explored and are waiting for massive investments. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we set forth into the future and expand the scope of our interaction for mutual benefit, let me seize this opportunity to once again welcome you and your delegation home to Nigeria, a land of promise and abundant opportunities. At this juncture, I want to jointly with my colleague, Her Excellency Francia Elena Marquez, declare open the Nigeria-Colombia Business Forum.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that.